every outcast, every child of the land. I'm elect. No kings, no gods. We won't kneel, we won't nod. No kings, no gods.
Fred, Lilith, welcome in.
Every child deserves the dawn. So they say, wipe them out.
Remember Amalek's sin?
But they don't see the mirror that they're staring in.
They call them cursed,
Palestinians despised.
but they fighting for breath while the prophets tell lies.
Children never sin being born. The bloodline ain't the crime. The crime is the scorn. They were never Amalek.
They were human, they were whole.
And it's time to break the spell they cast on their souls.
Esau was hated for nothing he did. Amalek was punished for something he was. And Palestine bears the same damn cross.
The sins of the story, not the truth in love. So say it with me now. No kings, no gods. No kings, no kings, no gods.
Gotta grab something.
Palestine is not Amalek. Children are not Amalek.
Son of Amalek, they never did you wrong. The curse was a lie, we're breaking it in song. Oh, 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 oh. One time, Dad goes, how many times are you going to listen to your own song? I'm like, as many fucking times as I want.
If you can't love your own music, who's gonna love it?
Right?
Hi, everyone.
Latino says that the song is ass. Apparently, Red Hat Latino not only loves gods, but loves kings. He likes to bow down and suck the dick of other people. I'm just
What's
not.
wrong with ass? Who said ass was bad? I thought ass was in.
No, ass should be good, right? We like
ass is good. I love ass.
Yeah. See, he said, long live the king. You can go bow down. I'm not bowing down to anybody. Anyway, I've got some fun books for us today, you guys. So until we get people to come up and talk, I thought it would be fun to look at some Christian science. Not only Christian Science, the religion, which I do have a book about that too. There's a religion, called Christian Science.
Is it separate from regular Christianity, or is it like its own sect?
It's its own sect. Christian Science was started by Mary Baker Eddy, and she like back in oh God, this is from the 30s. So I want to say she started it like maybe in the 20s or some shit. I don't know. No, even earlier. I think she started in the 1890s. Or 1800s even. I don't 1890s.
Can you correct me if I'm wrong? This isn't the lady with the trance, is she? Or I was talking about the lady that would go into these trances.
Okay. I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I haven't done enough research. I just found her book at a estate sale one day, and I was like, yes, I need to know what the Christian Scientists think, right? So I was like, yes, I'm picking that up. But this is from Christians who rewrote science. And so they made a book about fossils, and it says fossils, evolution, creation. Evolution, creation. Okay? And I thought it would be really fun because I'm going to tell you that I would have been the person that fell for this shit. I'm going to admit it. And so I would have fallen for this. And as I read it, you guys can laugh and tell me to stop and tell me where it's wrong. Okay? I thought that would be fun. You guys could go, what? That is not how that works. Okay. So the first
and I'm sure because it's from the 1930s. I was just going to say, I'm sure because it's from the 1930s, it's going to be so accurate.
Okay, this one's not from the 1930s. This one's from the 1980s, though. So it's still going to be fucking funny. You know what I mean? So this one's from the 1980s. Okay, groups of fossils found in different parts of the world can be put together in an arrangement called the geologic column. What can these fossils tell us about the origin and history of life on Earth? What is the geologic column? Do you guys know what the hell? Is that a Christian thing or a science? Should play, is this Christian made up or true science? Do you guys know what that is? Is that a real thing?
I don't know what that is. It sounds Tower of Babel-esque. It sounds Tower of Babel-esque.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Okay, we're going to look it up. Okay, so the geologic column is a real science thing, but it's often misrepresented in Christian apologetics and creationist material. The geologic column is a model geologists built from studying rock layer, which is called stratigraphy, all over the world. It shows order of rock layers, older to younger, fossils found in those layers, a timeline of Earth's history, billions of years. It's based on multiple independent scientific methods like fossil succession. Certain fossils only appear in certain layers, radiometric dating, and field observations from thousands of sites world round. What it's not. And so we'll see if that's what this book claims. Okay, this is what it's not. This is where the confusion comes in. Creationist books often claim the geologic column doesn't exist anywhere in real life. It's imaginary or drawn first, then fossils are forced into it. So let's see if that's what this book is going to claim. Hey, Godwin, you guys, if you're a friendly and you want to come up and hang out, we're talking about some fun science books today. Also, if any believers want to come up and talk about whether their God is into them or not, I'd love to hear about it. I don't think the God's that into you, but maybe you feel different. Okay, so on the next page it says introduction. Did all life that we see today form very slowly over vast periods of time? Was there a time when a creator, a master designer, created all the different kinds of life on Earth? Neither of these questions can be answered with certainty. It has been said by some that the study of fossils provides a means of seeing evolution. Others have stated that the fossil evidence favors creation. Perhaps the student can decide by observing the data which idea seems to fit best. This is going to be so fascinating. I'm so excited.
I like how they didn't name any names on purpose. Notice how they didn't do that.
Right? Okay, before we continue, I'm going to read you the definitions because we know how Christians like to change them. Let's see if they kept them legit. Evolution. The idea that offspring of simple life forms can change into varied and more complex kinds over long periods of time. Change between kinds. That's not what evolution is. So right away they fucking define it wrong immediately. And I don't know shit about science. I just know that that's not what evolution means. Oh my God.
Well, you do know that the kinds reference is a throwback to Noah in Genesis, though, right?
Yeah. Okay, I gotta do something real quick.
How y'all doing?
Hey, Godwin, how are you?
Good to see you. Good.
Okay, just for the fun of it, I'm asking my AI to correct the definitions that we've been given. Yeah, these are very loaded definitions. Evolution, the change in genetic makeup of populations over generations over long periods. This can lead to the diversity of life through processes like mutation, natural selection, genetic drift, and common descent. So, no, they weren't even really close on that definition. Now, creation, they might have right. The idea that all life forms are or varieties of kinds created by a master designer change within kinds. Kinds is not a scientific category. That's a Christian category. That's not a real scientific word there. my update to it is a religious or philosophical view that a divine being created life and the universe. Different traditions describe this in different ways. Data. Facts based on observation, information used to compare ideas such as evolution and creation. I don't know. That's pretty close to what I think data is. What do you guys think?
It's not too bad for data. There's better definitions, but we can work with it.
Okay, the only thing that my dude updated, it said recorded observations or measurements used to test hypotheses, build models, and evaluate explanations. Data isn't used to compare ideas like evolution and creation. That's true, it's not. So that was a good update from AI there. Two, model, comparing 2 points of view on a subject, both to encourage careful thinking and to avoid prejudice. 2, model, this one is especially misleading. It is not a recognized scientific concept. A more accurate replacement would be scientific models, testable evidence-based explanations used to describe and predict natural phenomenon. Well, Aaron, if you want to come up and tell us how you think God is into you, that would be great. But I don't think he is. And the way I would know is because I've read his works, and he kind of lets you know that he doesn't like you by the way he treats you. You know, just like the way men treat women, they let them know that they don't like them by the way they treat them. I think God does the same thing. Okay, let's go on. Scientific inquiry, using logic and observation in an orderly approach to solving problems. And so that one's mostly fine. I'm not really going to object to that either. Objective way, using fair judgment and not permitting bias to cloud the mind. Approaching conclusions using evidence, critical thinking, and methods designing to minimize bias while recognizing that complete objectivity is an ideal scientists work toward, not something humans fully achieve. And I have to agree with my AI on that. So yes, a 2-model study of this question is a way to approach the data through scientific inquiry. If you have an opportunity to study all of the data, you can decide which model makes more sense to you. Evolution and creation are both models that are opposites in many ways. The actual scientific data, however, can be explained in both models. We will try to bring these data to you in a very objective way. Which of these two you decide upon is up to you. I doubt this is going to be very objective. And I do want to point out that I disagree with some things that just said, because it said, Christians like to say, but you can't study these things. You don't have the equipment, you don't have the ability or whatever. And that's absolutely ridiculous, because many things that you need special equipment to study or whatever can be studied on a smaller scale here. Like, we can do literal science experiments about rockets in our backyard, and we don't need all the equipment of like a jet propulsion laboratory to do it. And we can still falsify information that we're given. We can do the math that they leave us and say, does this math actually equate? I mean, that is one of the biggest lies I hear Christians say on TikTok, is that we can't actually know whether these scientists are telling us the truth or not, because we're just sitting at home. And so we couldn't possibly figure it out,
It's an anti-intellectual, insidious agenda on the Christians' behalf. There's a reason why they don't want you to go to college, and why they tell you don't pursue a higher education, because the more you know, the more you'll be able to pick apart how the stories don't make sense. It's mythology, and if you study the origins of it, you can easily pick apart, oh, this is where this idea came from, this is the time period it came from. They don't want people to do that. Additionally, I noticed when you were talking about these models, why have it in a binary black or white? It has to be one of these models. You didn't have any.
Right.
You're going to tell me you wrote a whole book and you didn't have any other options? Come on now, we're being intellectually dishonest as fuck. This is ridiculous.
No, I don't think anybody is saying that Christians don't get college degrees. However, Christians do discourage people from getting college degrees often. And when they do get a degree, they also tell them where they should go, and it should usually be a Christian college. And don't go to any other college because you might lose your Christianity. And that comes from personal experience. So again, Aaron, you may have a different lived experience. And that's because, you know what's weird is we're different people. Like you're not me. Okay? So I hope that helps. Hope you figured that out now that you and I are not the same person and therefore have not had the same lived experiences.
I really,
And I'm
really
sure the
love how he
Christian-
says he's not religious, but yet he's sitting there batting so hard for Christians. Like, you are such a liar, Aaron.
Yes.
You're such a liar.
And I
Yeah,
mean, I'll play
yeah.
devil's advocate, Aaron. I'm sure that the Christian University for TV VCR repair you went to was a good one. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about when pastors discourage young folks from pursuing a higher education and sabotage their whole lives.
Especially women. Especially women. Women are told do not go to college. You should just learn how to be a housewife and take care of a man. Okay?
Girls
So
are groomed.
you can,
Yeah.
but thank you for the engagement. I always appreciate all your comments. Every time you comment, that helps boost me in the algorithm, and I appreciate it so much. You guys keep tapping the screen, sharing out the live, send your heart me's, collect your T points. I know I've been gone for a while, but I'm back. I'm sorry. I needed some time off for my mental health. And so I have stepped down from some things, moved some things around so that I could start focusing more on my platform, on my podcast, on my Auntie Sermons. Hi, Ariel. And yeah, so welcome back. You guys, we have an but he's not loading. It's there we go.
Oh.
Catholic, are you with us?
Yes, hello there. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So today we're talking about how God's just not that into you. And that's based on a book that was written a decade or so ago. A man wrote a book and he was telling women, look, it's very clear that men aren't into you. They're showing you. They don't call you back. They don't, respond. They don't take you out on the weekend. And I feel like God has been telling us that all along. He's not into us. He's not, and he's certainly not into women. He is not that into us. What do you think?
Well, I would have to respectfully disagree with you because he created you life and he went ahead and atoned for your sins because you sinned. I sin. Everybody sinned.
I don't
And he
sin.
was unalive
I've
on the
never
cross for
sinned.
us, and now
I-
she's going to interrupt. See, this is what they do. They get defensive. They have to interrupt, over talk. It's a tactic these atheists do.
I think you forgot. This
Now
isn't
she's
your
censoring
program,
me.
please,
They're very
sweetheart. This
rude.
isn't your program, sweetheart.
They're very rude. She asked what I thought. Now she.
I'm not
She
touching
doesn't
them.
really want.
You guys don't have to mute him. You guys
Doesn't
don't
want
have
to
to
know
mute
what I
him. Okay,
thought.
let him go
There
on.
you go. Yeah, so she asked what I thought, but she doesn't want to really hear what I thought because she's talking over me and muting me and censoring me. So this is a tactic.
I was the one muting you, just to let you know. And I was muting you
rude.
because you were being
You're
disrespectful,
very
sir. You
bad-willed.
need to
You're very
take turns.
dishonest.
This is
Now
not
being
your
spoken
program.
over once
This
again
is not your
by somebody
program,
that's
sir.
getting
This is her
triggered.
program. I
So
don't
there
know
you
who
go.
Robin,
you are,
let-
but
There
this
you
is
go. This
somebody
is
else's
how it is in
page.
all the atheist lives. This is how they behave. It's a tactic that
I-
they use.
I literally have not muted you. I do not sin.
Well, then how
I was
getting
not a
muted?
part.
How was I getting muted?
That was me. Move on.
Sir,
Exactly.
my hands are
One
right
of your
here.
moderators.
And
And
did
yet your
you hear
moderator
me
is
tell
still up there.
Robin?
Why don't you get rid of your
Catholic,
moderator?
Catholic, I'm not getting rid of my
No,
moderator.
your
Did you
moderators
hear
do the dirty work for you.
Catholic? Did you hear me ask Robin to stop muting you?
Okay, so as I was
So
saying,
did you hear me say that? Did you hear me
No,
ask
I didn't
Robin
hear
to
you.
stop muting
No,
you?
I didn't.
Well, if you would have shut the fuck up, you would have heard it. But
See,
you're a
there you go,
fucking
everybody.
asshole
That's the
on
demon
everybody's
manifesting in her.
live.
Look, check it
Oh,
out.
the demon. You guys, Dark Crystal cannot handle little bitches like Catholic traditionalists today. I'm sorry, but he can fuck right off. Okay. Oh my God. They don't even hear when you are like, hey, don't mute them anymore. Let them speak or whatever, because they're so busy fucking crashing out in the first 2 minutes. Jesus Christ. Drink some. I got restricted for bullying, you guys. I'm going to do a restart, okay? I'm going to do a restart. Did you guys hear me?
I was the
Because it
bully.
might have
Right.
been. Hold on, it might have been Aaron who dirty. There, I got rid
It
of that.
doesn't matter.
Aaron
I
dude.
need a I know, but I
Yeah.
have to restart because
It's
I'm
so he
restricted.
can't come back. It's so he can't come back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, you guys, I'll be right back. Y'all better come back, okay? I hate doing restarts because you don't come back, but come back. I'll be right back.
Run this at $1 for a light goal. And then where do I put the 10?
That was it? No, I'm just trying to find all 5 of them, and then whatever I can't find
And then
was sold.
the 10 is $200, so I definitely can't run that for $1 right now. This is like a light goal thing, like a 200,000 light goal. Sassy the Sasquatch sounds like my kind of squash, dude.
Men didn't have the nerve to name you, not with truth, not with blood on their hands.
You should be better now, YouTube.
They spoke around you, over you, safe behind their power and plans. They praised what you did for them. They trembled as you gave your name. They wouldn't dare think to name you. No, that would be my claim to fame. I didn't bow when you found me alone. No one else to hear what I say. You didn't offer a name for me to whisper, so I named you from my view of you that day. You didn't offer me a covenant, no altar, no future, no claim. What I had was a body for trading, and the courage to give you a name. The God who sees, nothing can hide from you.
Hey, Anthony.
The God who sees, nothing outside your view. You saw it, 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 you saw it. The story's been told for generations, passed along from voice to ear. I called you the God who sees, but it's not how it appears. Like a game of telephone, it traveled. Every telling changed the view. Each preaching made it softer. Each repeat a little more askew. You saw it, you saw it. Far from my home, isolated, afraid, a body alone in a borrowed land. You saw me doing what I had to do, trying to obey their every command. You saw the cruelty, saw it plain, saw it hand me over like a toy. You saw what was taken again and again. You saw my body and heart destroyed. I ran when escape came into view. Believe distance might set me free, but you found me there in the wilderness and sent me back to what you could see. I named you the God who sees. They heard it as something kind. They said you saw my heart, said it was part of your design. It was never meant to compliment. I named you the God who sees. It was always an indictment. You see it all and do nothing. You see the children, you see their pain, their hunger, their bruises, their abuse. You see the men who harm them while claiming they worship you.
Hey, Tariq.
You see global war.
Hey,
You
Jagal.
see the suffering.
You see it all from your throne and do nothing.
You saw it, 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 you saw it. I didn't name you by see. You saw it, 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 you are the God who sees. So many amazing people in here this morning. Thank you so much for joining me. I know I've been gone for a while. I'm back. I needed a little mental health break. And so, and it was a little longer than I thought. Actually, just to be in full disclosure with you, I'm still depressed. This is me masking when I'm depressed. So that's what I do. I'm just trying not to be. So I'm trying to I always feel like depression for me feels like you're in really thick mud or something and you're trying to climb out of it. I don't know how else to explain it. You know what I mean?
I think of it like a fog. Mud's not a bad analogy though, but here in Missouri, we got some thick old fog. It's like molasses.
Yeah. I think of fog or mud, something just really, but yeah, you really have to trudge through it. You guys, that song was You Saw It, and it is from my album Ex Parte. It's under the artist CrystalJae, CrystalJae, everywhere you stream music. Check that out. It has a lot of great deconstruction songs on it. It has Consent. It has Miss Me Without Misogyny, Abelina Ballerina. You Saw It. I don't know. It has No Kings, No Gods. It's a great album. So go check it out and stream it. I do need to put out some music videos for you. I owe you music. I owe you music videos. I owe you a podcast. I owe you so many things, and I'm working on it. This is my comeback today, okay? So I'm just doing it a little slow, okay? It's like I said, it's really hard. I want you to know that the reason why this has been a little hard for me is because I'm in the midst of being re-diagnosed and getting on proper medication and a proper treatment plan. Before, we thought I had bipolar with probably ADHD or whatever, but now we don't think that's what's going on. And so I've been diagnosed with OCD, and OCD often is followed by a depressive episode. For some reason, people, when they get diagnosed with OCD, we find it a moral failure. And that's part of our OCD. So it causes depression a lot of times right after you're diagnosed. And that happened. And then other things, piled on, and it just became one of those things. So I'm back, and we're going to get to work on those things until we get somebody coming up. We have been going through this amazing book. It's called Fossils, Key to the Present Evolution Creation. And I wonder sometimes when we are in these conversations with these Christians, where the fuck are they getting this information? And this is one of the where the fucks. This is from the 80s, okay? This is what these people, my age, a little younger than me, grew up believing. They were homeschooled and shit, and they were taught this shit. And even if they weren't homeschooled, they were still taught this shit. And so I think it's good to know what the fuck they were taught. And it's fun. It's kind of funny. I'm not going to lie. It is a little funny. It is a little funny. So where we were at was a study made in 1978 showed that students like you learn more about the facts of origins when they study from two models. Let's look at that. I just don't believe anything anymore. Okay. Was there a study done in 1978 that showed that students learn more about facts and origins when they are faced with two models? Yeah, something like that exists, but it's not what creation is. I love how they always fucking do that, but it's not going to be what they told you, okay? There was a late 1970s classroom study tied to creationist materials usually connected to the book Origins. Oh, this isn't it. Origins, two models, evolution, creation. It's this guy's fucking thing. It's this author. Wait. Richard Bliss.
Hold up, wait a
What
minute. He's
jerk.
referencing himself?
Yes!
He referenced himself. Tell me you're a
Yes!
narcissist without telling me you're a fucking narc. Oh my god.
Oh my god, is that fucking crazy?
It's like
That is
sentences all
hilarious.
over again.
This reminds me
The
of how,
study-
like, the Jehovah's Witnesses with, like, their Tower Society, in order to prove their own doctrinal views, they'll cite other Tower Society propaganda instead of, like, the actual scriptures. You know what I'm talking about? That's what this is. This is like, I'm some loser who's pretending to have some background in science, and let me
You
just
guys, I just got restricted again. I'm not gonna restart though. I'm just gonna appeal this one and then
What was it for?
harassment and bullying.
How? You're not bullying us. Oh wait, actually, hold on. We're not supposed to say that word. I'm pretty sure, because I'm pretty sure that's a red flag for.
Well, I can say what it was for. I mean, like,
Shame on you.
It's not even giving me a chance. I think for 10 minutes we're just going to be restricted. So
I was just gonna say, yeah, like using yourself to validate your own claims. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. Nobody would substantiate that. It wouldn't even matter if you were Einstein. Even if you were Einstein, you'd have to pull sources from other credible people.
I know, that is just so crazy. What are you talking about? Okay, so that is funny that it's his own fucking book or whatever. And it's like, it was a classroom study, so I don't even know that it was some kind of peer-reviewed study, and he makes it sound like it, right? The very purpose of this module is to lead you to the scientific data and some of the arguments from science. The final decision, however, is yours to make. This module will help you to think critically, and through this, your decision-making skills will be strengthened. Okay, so the next page I'm going to show you guys, I do not know if any of it is true because I don't know. Wait, let me see if I can find a way. Okay. If you guys don't want to be able to see the page better, I know the text is there. You have to swipe for a minute, okay? Because it's the only way I could do it with the green screen on. I'll read to you what it says though, okay? So it's a page that will shows like the. Please correct me on. Hey, please correct me if I'm saying any of these names wrong. If you want to come on up, Liz. Is it the Cenozoic, or is it Kenozoic? It's Cenozoic. Is it Cenozoic? It is Cenozoic. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it says Homo sapiens, and they were with woolly mammoths. This is the kind of shit that I would not know if it's true or not, because I have not studied anything about or like man's evolution at all, because I never gave a fuck that we evolved. I never gave a fuck about that. We evolved. What the fuck? That sounds normal to me. Okay, quaternary, I don't know, that's what it's saying, and tertiary. He says the giraffe, the saber-toothed cat, and the moa were all alive at the same time. I do not know. I don't know if that's true. Cretaceous, and that would be the pteranodon, the tortoise. We would have aspen, oak, and magnolia, and the mosasaur. And then during the Jurassic period, we would have the stegosaur and the bronchiosaur and other ones. So that was all of this page. I could probably put these pictures too in my Discord if you guys want to see them later. I don't know if any of that is correct. Okay, so let's read what else it says, though. Clues to the past. What was the earth like when dinosaurs roamed over the world? Has anyone ever seen a living dinosaur? Why do we find sea creatures preserved in stone high up on mountains all over the world? These questions and those relating to the origin of life are important to the student today. Was all life created by a supernatural master designer? Is all life the result of chance and evolutionary selection? Okay, I don't believe that life is about chance, and I don't know why Christians always say that. I think it's about cause and effect, but not chance. Fossils can help us compare the evolution and creation models. The very fact that fossils are found today help us understand some of the past. In spite of this, questions are not easy to answer from existing evidence. We have no detailed scientific records of life's beginnings. There were no human eyewitnesses. We have only clues about what life is like in the past. The fossils provide these for us as they help us to look into the past. If you like mysteries, you will enjoy solving the fossil puzzle. You may even want to join the many rock and fossil hunters called rock hounds. Then it has more definitions, but I'm afraid to read them because they're so bad at definitions. Supernatural, beyond the natural, something that one could not normally expect to happen. Okay, I would
That's a
agree
horrible
that it's beyond the
definition.
natural.
That
Right?
is a horrible definition. How are you gonna if you're going to include natural in the definition of supernatural, then you also would have to lay out the terms for what is natural in contrast to it, and didn't do that.
True.
Like this is a horrible definition. Like if you compare this to Oxford, Merriam-Webster, or any other dictionary, this is terrible.
And then selection, survival in greater numbers of varieties that fit best into their environment. I don't think that's what selection is either. I think he's trying to define natural selection, but not doing a very good job of it.
That's also not what natural selection is.
Can you say that again?
Yeah, he said survival in greater numbers of varieties that fit best into their environment.
Yeah, no.
Okay, then eyewitness, someone having been on the spot to see something happen. That's pretty much the only one that I think that he's got, that could give that's the closest definition he's gotten correct so far. Rock hounds, people around the world who enjoy searching for rocks and fossils. They often form clubs. Oh, he got that one right. Okay. All right, you guys ready? Any questions so far, class?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Okay.
No questions, but lots of eye rolls.
This book is about as bad as the one that you were reading off to me. What was it last year?
We don't talk about that book anymore.
No. We don't talk about no. Recess will be as soon as we're done with our fossil study. Okay, Anthony? Did you bring a snack? You brought a snack that's not messy, right? You don't get to do messy snacks anymore, Anthony. You know what happened last time, okay? We don't talk about that, do we? You brought bacon. Oh, well,
Wait,
but at least it's better than.
No, literally, I am allergic to pork.
You are? You're allergic to
Yes, I am.
bacon? Well, that's healthy for you, to be honest. It's good that you're allergic to it. Okay, what are fossils? Fossils are the remains or traces of plants and animals preserved in rock deposits. Is he correct? I think that might be a little wrong too. I'm not positive though because I did not really care to study this when I was younger. Is it the remains?
These explanations are very vague, like even the one before that was half right, but it's not detailed enough.
Okay.
But not all fossils are in rocks. Not all fossils are like encased in amber or in stone. Like there are just bones in the ground. Like that. His definition is faulty. That's not true. There are all kinds of fossils.
Mineral replacement. Yeah, mineral replacement of the existing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, at Dinosaur National Monument in Utah, you can see fossil remains of dinosaurs in the rocks. You can even watch scientists called paleontologists dig out these bones. They take their finds to the museum to rebuild a whole skeleton. Maybe you have found fossils yourself. They are often common where streams or roads cut through sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks, as the name suggests, are formed from sediments. Sandstone, limestone, and shale are examples of sedimentary rocks. One of the authors has collected over 500 kilograms of fossils from road cuts and stream beds all over North America. I wonder which author. You don't think it's the one who quotes himself, do you? Okay, I'm sorry. Some of these fossils are shown in figure 1.3. And I think that that is these over here. Okay. Most fossils look like creatures that are living today. Clams, snails, sea stars, sea lilies, crinoids, shark teeth, even from Sioux City, Iowa, and bits of petrified wood from pine trees and many others. Some fossils show extinct forms of life, those no longer living today. Dinosaurs are extinct, and so are most of the different kinds of lamp shells, brachiopods. The famous fossils called trilobites are extinct sea animals. They looked something like horseshoe crabs. And now I just don't trust anything he says. so I'm like, should I check everything he just said? Okay, we'll go on though. You guys ready to learn about woolly mammoths? It says debating the definition of fossils and natural selection. That's what the AI says we're doing right now, you guys. You guys also don't have to stay so quiet. You can chime in anytime.
I don't have any questions. Going back to what was being said earlier, yes, our ancient ancestors would have been alive at the time that the woolly mammoths would have been around, but they likely would. This is like the transitional period between Homo sapiens and Homo sapiens sapiens, then. So that's to be noted. And then the saber tooth, there would have been ancient humans living with them, but they would have been like cave dwelling Neanderthal people. They would not have been like Homo sapiens that we have today. Yeah.
Hey, Robin, the woolly mammoth went extinct about 10,000 years ago. So we were around with them, and we used to hunt them for food.
No, I agree. I'm saying that this that there were still people evolving, so to speak, around the time that this happened. Like there were still Homo sapiens and Homo sapiens sapiens. Like that line had not yet been drawn. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think we proved that the Iceman that we found was a Homo sapien. The guy we found in the ice, he was about 10,000 years old.
I'm not taking away from what you're saying. I'm just saying that like normal Homo sapiens would have been around at that time. I'm sorry, Homo sapiens sapiens would have been around at that time, but also normal Homo sapiens would have been around at that time.
Are you coming up? You guys, if you're friendly, you want to come up and hang out, guest box is open. Feel free. We are going to be talking about God's Not That Into You today, but we are also reading these amazing science books written by Christian author Richard B. Bliss. They are fascinating. Hey, twin. Hey, Kim, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. Good to see you. Okay, we're reading this fascinating book. Let's get to woolly mammoths now. Woolly mammoths are found trapped in ice, and insects may be preserved in pine resin that harden into amber. But such fossils are rare exceptions to the general rule. Well, now, are they always trapped in ice? Because I happen to know about some that I think were found that weren't trapped in ice. Let me look them up. Okay, hang on. I happen to know about some that might not have been found in ice, okay? Have you guys ever heard of a place called Diamond Valley Lake?
No, but it sounds beautiful.
Anybody? There's a place called Diamond Valley Lake that began construction in 1990, okay? In the late 1990s, actually. And hundreds of ice age fossils, including Columbian mammoths, the North American species, mastodons, giant sloths, and saber-toothed cats were found in California.
So when you are doing a Google search and you put in woolly mammoth, right, and that doesn't come up, how are you supposed to put it in your book? Because it said Columbian mammoth.
Well, also the reason he didn't know about it was because this was written in 1980 and they didn't find those till the late 1990s. But it's not true that they're just found in ice. That's just not true. We find them other places that are not covered in ice right now. So, okay.
But what we don't know about is all the different mammoths that, besides the woolly mammoth, what about the wavy hair textured mammoth? What about the curly hair textured mammoth? I'm just joking.
What about 7E hair? Wait, isn't it like numbers that they go? How about 3A hair mammoth? How about that one? They don't talk about that.
I want to see the 4C Afro mammoth. Where's it at?
Yeah, I don't know what any of these numbers mean, so please do not think that I'm trying to be offensive to anybody with any hair type. I don't even know what the numbers mean. I'm just saying numbers and letters together randomly. Okay, I don't even know what hair type I have. I know it's straight, it's thin, and this is its natural color right now. The last time I dyed it, you can see, was many years ago. So you can see it. It's way down there. Okay. Most often, the fossil-making process starts when a plant or animal gets buried. This often occurs under a heavy load of waterborne sediment, such as mud or sand. The load of sediment kills the creature and keeps its remains together. Often, however, the soft parts will rot away, and only hard parts like teeth, bones, shells, and wood get preserved. Most scientists agree that flooding provides the best way to start forming fossils. Okay, is that true? Is that true?
I do know that some things actually last longer and are more preserved in water, but it's situational. It depends on what it is.
I'm going to just look up that one. Okay, tell me if this quote is true. It says, most often the fossil making process starts... No, that's not what I want to know. I want to know if most scientists agree that flooding provides the best way to start forming fossils.
See, I don't know if that's true. I don't think so. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, most scientists do not agree that flooding is the best or primary way fossils form. Let's clean this up because there's a tiny grain of truth that gets twisted into a big misleading claim. What science actually agree on? Fossils form best when an organism is buried quickly. There's low oxygen, slows decay. Sediment protects the remains, and yes, water can help with that. Where flooding fits in, flooding can carry sediment, mud, sand, bury organisms quickly. So scientists would say flooding is one possible way, but it is not the main or universal explanation. The park creationist books twist. They jump from rapid burial, sometimes involving water, helps fossilization, to a massive global flood explains most fossils. Yeah, and I feel like that's where he's about to go. So let's find out, shall we?
That makes sense. That actually makes sense where he's going. I was just going to say, I would think hypothetically there'd be other situations where the fossils would be much better preserved. For example, let's say a lizard unalived in the deserts. If it was buried in desert sand, it should be perfectly preserved. There should be a perfect skeleton in that sand.
Yeah.
Robin, in the future, Robin, I'm going to need you to be more clear when you say that this man makes sense.
Okay, so he says a flood usually comes without warning, so many animals cannot escape. A flood also carries enough sediment to bury living things deeply enough so that they cannot crawl out. Some fossil graveyards include remains of thousands, even billions of these forms of life, all washed together under the same sediment load. The way fossils usually form is shown in the figures. As the sediment that traps this life turns into rock, parts of the once living plants and animals usually become like rock. They absorb minerals, and we say they have become petrified. Ordinarily, when clams die, they decay with no remains, while a clam becomes a rock-like fossil. Like a rock-like fossil can keep its shape. Sometimes, instead of getting harder and heavier, though a bone has its minerals leached or washed away, leaching leaves the bone very light and fragile. The huge but lightweight mammoth bone in figure 1.7b can easily be held with 2 fingers. He's showing this guy holding this giant. I'm gonna have to put this giant bone down here. There's a guy holding a bone, and he's saying you could hold that with 2 fingers. Hey, Laith. You guys, thank you all for being here. Keep tapping the screen, sharing out the live. If we do get somebody who wants to come up and talk, we will bring them up. They will get priority. But right now, I just really want to know why Christians don't understand science. And as we read these older science books written by Christians, it's kind of giving us a clue. You know what I mean? So, one, we saw that they definitely lie on definitions, and they quote themselves and make it seem like they're quoting a reputable scientist. Hey, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you guys doing?
Doing well, the bearded. What's new with you?
Not much. Just chilling out. Got a little bit of time. Thought I'd jump up, join the conversation.
Cool.
Question. The answer to the question is they're guiding the evidence and they're not following the evidence.
Yes.
That's the answer.
I always wonder if there's like a normal editor that ever stumbles across these things and they're like, oh my God. You know what I mean? Like someone who doesn't believe it and they're reading it and they're like, what? And that just never mind.
Right. Okay. So sometimes instead of getting harder and heavier, okay, so I just read that. All right, so that was the bone you could pick up with 2 fingers. I don't know. I'm sure it's pretty light, but I don't know if you could pick that up with 2 fingers, but maybe. He also has more pictures. And again, these I would need you guys to look at, so I'll post them in the Discord later, and you all could pick them apart for me and tell me what's true or not. Remember, I don't know shit about science, and I probably would have believed all of this because eventually, even though I believed in evolution, I started to listen to Ken Ham, and I started falling for his bullshit. I eventually, woke up or something. I don't know what happened, but there was a time where I was believing some bullshit. Actually, it was something he said that helped me deconstruct. Ken Ham helped me deconstruct, and I'm going to tell you what he said.
Oh my gosh. Don't give him a
Yeah,
tally.
it's true. No, you should hear what he said, and once I tell you what he said, you will realize that so many people should deconstruct over this comment he made, okay? He said, Genesis is the foundation of Christianity. And he said, if Genesis isn't true, if everything in Genesis isn't true, then the whole religion is bullshit.
I shouldn't have said that.
I guess
Well,
it's
So
not
when
true. I started realizing it wasn't true, I was like, oh my God, I remember really, really holding on to that comment he made. That was why I believed his bullshit. But now that I realize he was saying bullshit, now I realize he's right. It is the foundation of my religion. And if it isn't true, why do I believe any of it? You know what I mean? Yeah,
So
I want to ask
he
a
shouldn't have said
question
that.
really fast.
Okay.
That's cool. Ken Ham, are you talking about the man who has the park where he's got the giant ark? Yeah.
Yes.
The Ark Encounter.
Yeah. Man, there's so much tea on this guy. Where do I even begin with him? Firstly, anybody that's listening to him, this man is not a good person. He has his own criminal background in white collar crime, stealing money from the government. And that's public knowledge. You can let that be known. I happen to know, and there's news stories about this. He hires S offenders to work at his park. What else? Also he despises trans folks, and yet he has had gender affirming top surgery to correct his gynecomastia. So many bad things. He's been in so many hot water situations. He's got quite the repertoire. I encourage you guys to look him up. Pin him. Screw yourself. You're a terrible person. Bye.
Ron, I believe there's going to be a protest soon too. I think they do it every year at the same time. They go to that place.
10th anniversary of the protest at the Ark Encounter.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
everybody
Steph,
go.
Your question. Pinham hires people who are S offenders. I'm not going to actually say the word. He hires P3DOs. He hires P3DOs and S offenders to work at his park where children go, which is like, I don't know, like that has to be criminal. I don't understand how he's. Anyway.
So unfortunately, that is the person I used to listen to. So okay, you guys have to understand that's who Christians are taught by. And I want us to know that, because if we're out there talking to him every day and we're like, where the fuck did this moron get this from? I want us to know, like, where did they get this from? They got it from Richard Bliss. They got it from Ken Ham. These people write books and sell them by the millions. Ron Wyatt, right? Exactly. So, okay. So here we go. Types of fossils. Petrified and leached specimens all contain material from once living forms. Sometimes, however, an organism disappears entirely, leaving only an impression in the rock called a mold. The mold forms an outline of what the living form once looked like. This can be either an inside mold or an outside mold. Snails and clams are often preserved as molds. If an outside mold fills in with another mineral, the filling forms a type of fossil called a cast. Sometimes flattened objects like fish or leaves decay, leaving only a carbon film as a fossil. These different types of fossils are shown in figure 1.8. I'll post these pictures later. Tracks or footprints and worm burrows are also called fossils because they tell us something about once living creatures. Even dung can be preserved. Examining sections of fossilized dung, which are coprolites, is that right? Coprolites?
Sorry, yeah, it's coprolites.
Yeah. I always wanted one.
Coprolites, okay. Under a microscope can help scientists decide what an animal once ate. Just looking at the size of the coprolite can help decide how big the animal was. I think the largest one is from a Viking man, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? Like, it's really huge.
I don't know if it's the largest one, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and they figured out, like, he had all sorts of, like, parasites. All sorts of stuff.
Wow. Okay, so you guys ready for the review test at the end of this? Okay. What is a fossil?
Wait, I didn't know there was a quiz.
There is a quiz.
Wait a minute.
What is
I want to hear about this big Viking man. Tell me about this big Viking man.
Tell me about the big Viking poop that they found. Is it the largest poop we found, or is it just the largest human poop?
Oh my gosh, it was feces? I thought they found a man. I didn't know they found...
No, they found his poop.
Oh.
A coprolite.
I got excited.
Okay, here it is.
I was like, are they going to reconstruct
it's
the handsome Viking man?
It's one of the most famous archaeological finds in the UK, known as the Lloyd's Bank coprolite. It was found in 1972 in York. It dates to around the 9th century. It's a fossilized human turd. It's about 8 inches long and roughly. Yeah, it sounds like it's the largest.
Yeah, the largest dinosaur coprolite was attributed to a T-Rex, and it's about 67.5 centimeters long.
Yeah, you're right. And
What's that in freedom units?
In comparison.
So just a little smaller than the Viking.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, well, 26 Yeah, 26 and a half inches. 26 and a half
I don't know what it is,
inches.
Crystal.
26 and a half
Holy
inches.
shit!
That
was great. Holy shit!
That's almost as long as my hair. That's crazy.
Wait, hold up. Are we talking about man inches or real inches?
I think real inches.
Oh my god.
It probably real inches because there were real archaeologists who did it, like not man inches.
Okay, not man inches. Okay, just because yeah, have to.
Goofy. I don't know if you guys remember, like the story years back that they found coke. I'm trying not to say the actual, but they found coke inside of the bodies of mummies in Egypt. You know what I'm talking about? You know what'd be crazy is if this giant 20. Yeah, that's actually a funny. I don't know if, based on everything, that it seems to be true. The coke in the mummies. It's very strange. They think that perhaps long ago Egypt and Central America had some sort of trade route or something. That's the only plausible thing I've heard about it. But I was going to say, what would be hilarious is if this 23 inches giant turd had like corn or something in it.
Oh my god.
Imagine that being your claim to fame. Like you're like, I'm an archaeologist, I'm looking for stuff, I find a pile of poop, and it's like, oh, I'm so excited. And like I totally get it, but it's just funny to think about it.
10,000-year-old 23-inch Viking shit. And if there was corn in it, you'd be a legend.
No, Lath, imagine being the person who took said shit. And that is your claim to fame.
Yeah. Imagine, that's where I thought we were going with that. Do you guys mind if I move on from this shit, though?
But can I say one thing about it?
You must.
One more shit.
Getting a little
okay, go ahead.
Technically, the Lloyd Banks coprolite is not a fossil. A fossil is any remains from a past geological age. It's from a past geological age, and the Vikings lived in the current geological age. It is a permineralized piece of poop, but it is technically not a fossil.
I love technical shit like that. So then, you just answered question 1, and that is, what is a fossil? And you told us that in that explanation. So, how are most fossils formed? Tell me the real truth, because this guy lies too much. I don't believe him.
Well, I know how. Obviously, Satan puts them in the ground to give people doubt.
Well, Yahweh did that. Yahweh did that. Yahweh put them there to test people, to make sure that they were, faithful, to be faithful.
See, you got it all wrong, because God is good all the time. He can't do nothing wrong.
Sorry. My bad. I forgot. We have to absolve Yahweh of every single type of evil, even though he's the one who says that he makes evil.
I think the real answer is
it was the
when something dead gets covered by like a bunch of like sediment really quickly, so it doesn't like decompose in the same way. That's I vaguely remember this from Jurassic Park answer.
It is buried in sediment. I like that. That we will accept that answer. Describe 5 different types of fossils. What are you talking about, Christian man? You couldn't decide. Give us 5 if you wanted to. He's talking about the inside mold. He's saying cast, specimen, outside mold, track, coprolite. He is calling coprolite, carbon film, and burrows. Those are the ones he says are different types. But I don't know if those are scientific ones or Christian ones.
I don't know.
He didn't use the word
we've
kind.
talked a lot about excrement. Yeah, he did use the word kind, and we already know that that's Christian jargon. Yeah, the kinds thing, way back to Genesis. Yeah.
Okay, the list I get is he's wrong. Okay, it's permineralized fossils, molds, cast, carbon films, trace fossils, amber fossils, frozen fossils, tar pit fossils, and impressions. Those are the different types.
So where's the sand?
There's also resins. There's also resins.
It said resin. Wait. Maybe resins are included in the amber fossils. And you said sand. Sand is in a part of another one also. Hang on, let me look. That would be a part of whether it's a mold or not. Like if it's a mold, then it would, and it was in sand, right? Then it would still be a mold, right? Or if it's permineralized. Okay. So it would be that type of fossil in that type of stuff. I don't know why I can't talk right now. Okay, geologic systems. Living things today tend to be found in certain groups of ecological zones. Lions and zebras, for instance, are found together in the African grasslands. Cactus and kangaroo rats are found in North American deserts. Clams, snails, and octopi are found along rocky shores. In a similar way, fossils are also found with each other in groups called geologic systems. If a rock layer contains mostly fossils of sea animals called trilobites and lamp shells, then these layers would be part of the Cambrian system. These are 12 major systems, each identified by the different kinds and numbers of fossils it contains. I don't trust when he says kinds because I don't know if he really means the word kind or, you know what I mean? A system which includes fossils of many dinosaurs and flowering plants is called Cretaceous. A system rich in remains of coal forest plants is called Pennsylvanian. However, notice that the Mississippian and Pennsylvanian are sometimes grouped together and called the Carboniferous. And it shows a few of the kinds of life found as fossils in each of the 12 major systems. So let's find out if that is a true thing. How many geological systems are there, and can you list them?
Well, there's Precambrian, which they didn't mention. I don't know why he didn't mention Precambrian rock. That's kind of important. That's the first one.
Because he's Christian and nothing happened before the Cambrian explosion, according to them.
That's true. There's absolutely no fossils in Oh wait, there are.
No, not according to the Christian archaeologists. Like the.
I just wanted to. Sorry.
I didn't read all 12 of them. He just said there are 12, but I didn't read them to you, I don't think. So I'm going to read them to you now, and you guys could tell me if these are right. Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Mississippian, Pennsylvanian, Permian, Triassic, Jurassic, Cretaceous, Tertiary, and Quaternary.
I've never heard of the Pennsylvanian one and the other one, but they might be real.
The Pennsylvanian and the Mississippian thing, that sounds a little suspect. The other ones I've heard of, but they're based off of like ages within the earth. They're not based off of the exact kind of fossils that you were talking about.
Your tapping is coming through.
Sorry. Right, the quad and the tertiary, the quad, those ones are like ages, right? They're in a different category, right, Robin? Yeah.
Yeah, they're in a different category because they're based off of ages. They're not based off of the type. That would be like me saying, what kind of tea do you like? I like Victorian tea, or I like Georgian tea, or something like that. Like, well, what does that mean, kind of thing? Like, I also wanted to point out the fact that he keeps using the word kinds. Kinds has never been defined.
Yeah.
He felt the need to define all of these other things, but he didn't explain this biblical concept of kind. He keeps sneaking into all these definitions. And I know I've been talking a lot, but I was going to say one more thing. In the previous stream that you're talking about, you were talking about how the author, Mr. Bliss, was alluding to how there's fossils on the top of mountains. That was never touched back on again, but that's through tectonic plates.
Right, we know that. We're only on page 11 of the whole book. Yes, we got to that,
Sorry, I looked it up real quick. Pennsylvanian is a sub-period of the Carboniferous period. So they're breaking it down
I looked that up
multiple times.
And the same with Mississippian too, right?
Yeah, they're doing periods and then for some reason going into sub-periods and then back into periods again.
And so what it really is Cambrian, Ordovician, or if I'm saying that wrong, Vician, Silurian, Devonian, I'm sorry, Carboniferous, Permian, Triassic, Jurassic, Cretaceous, Paleogene, Neogene, and Quaternary. And I probably butchered all those words, but those are the real ones. Yeah, he does not have them right.
Saying.
So, so this book is really not good. But do you see how it's just off enough that people wouldn't question what he's saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like it sounds legit, the things he says, right? If I went and looked up a few of the words he says, right. And so that is very confusing to people. You know, he bites. You want to come back?
The blackest of lies are the ones that are half true. Are the ones that are half true. Are the ones that are.
I was gonna say, this book came out in the 80s. It's not like the internet was widely available for people to fact check information at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who didn't know any better that would have picked up this book could have just absorbed the propaganda like a sponge, not knowing any different.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I want us to realize, so that maybe when these people come up and say some dumb shit, before we get like angry with them, we can break it down and say, like, I think that you've been given some misinformation, because these books that we were given were wrong. They were wrong. And they had an agenda, and it was the Christian agenda, and it was the creationist agenda. I listened to this guy on Dr. Blitz show just to totally change the subject for no reason whatsoever. I listened to Dr. Blitz this day talk to a flat earther who said, I don't know, I believed in the globe, but now I'm kind of thinking it's more, like a snow globe, so it's a flat earth and blah, blah, blah. And then he said, at the beginning, he said, Dr. Blitz said, what made you start thinking that? And he said, because when I joined the service, the pilots all said the earth is flat. Okay? Liar. No fucking pilot told you that. They fucking cannot fly without it being a global positioning system, you fucking liar. Do you know what kind of math they have to learn to understand a global positioning system for their fucking, their equipment? Anyway, moving on. Yeah, navigation and all that. So then towards the end of it, he starts saying, no, the reason, he goes, well, the reason is I really started thinking this since I was a kid. So why'd you lie and say that it was when you were in the service and that it was when pilots told you? Why do you guys fucking lie? Why don't you just fucking stand 10 toes down about why you believe what you believe?
Because they know if they say, well, I've always thought it since I was a kid. That's a dumb thing to say.
Right.
I mean, it's not dumb to say it, but it's dumb to be like, well, and then I just thought at 9 years old, that's true. And I just never changed my mind for any good reason. They know that sounds silly.
But it's more silly to sit here and try to tell me that a pilot who uses a global, that's the fucking word. It does not work on a flat earth model. Also, could somebody please show me their flat earth model? I want somebody to show me their flat earth model. None of them have one.
I'm just imagining a pilot with a Gibson map. I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
The flat, I'm talking about the flat earth map. I can just see them. They're like, oh, it's going to take us a long time to get to Australia from South America.
Right. This is crazy to me. Anyway, that, this morning I'm listening to that and I'm just like, what? I just don't understand. Even when I was a Christian, I guess I lied too. I catch myself all the time going, I wouldn't have done that. And then I really think about it and I go, yeah, I would have. I was such a fucking liar, but mostly to myself. Like, I lied to myself a lot. And I want you guys to know that too, that most of the lies they're saying that come out their mouth, it's for their own thing. Like, they're doing that so they hear themselves because they are lying to themselves. I know that I used to say, and I hear people do this all the time, and the minute they say it, I'm like, you're such a fucking liar. They'll go, Well, I looked into so many other religions, and it's just that Christianity was the only one that was like really, that made sense. And so that's why I'm a Christian. Somebody can go ahead and thank you. And so I remember saying that stupid shit, right? I remember so much saying that I looked into other religions. Do you know what looked into other religions means? I think I read a few pages from the Book of Mormon. It made me laugh, so I put it down. I don't think I even knew what a Quran was. So there's no fucking way I looked into that. I probably lied and said I did, but I wouldn't have known what a Quran or a surah or any of that shit was back in the day. And I wouldn't even have been able to tell you which gods Hindu people worship. I still probably couldn't tell you correctly, okay? I couldn't tell you their holy books or anything. And had you asked me, I probably would have thought Buddhists all worshipped Buddha, which tells you that I didn't look into Buddhism either, right? So, when they say that, I know right off the fucking bat they're lying. But that was a lie like I told myself, too. Like, I really thought, you've looked into other religions. It's like, what does that even mean? No, I haven't. What did I think that was? Did I looked at a pamphlet once or something? Or what? I didn't like that. I don't know. And then I also used to say that I read the whole Bible. And I don't know that I ever did. I really don't. I always said I did. But now when I look back, I think, did I just say that because I read a lot of the Bible and it's so boring that it felt like it was just so fucking boring that
Hey, I don't want to interrupt. Did you guys not hear me before? I was trying to talk and I had to jump down and back up.
We couldn't hear you.
No. Okay.
Nope.
I was trying to talk, but I guess you guys couldn't hear me. So there's three things. Firstly, that guy claiming to be in the military and not being in the military, that's stolen valor. Do not do that. That is messed up. What he just did, that
I
is
think he was in the military.
deceptive.
I think he was in the military. I just don't believe that he talked to pilots and asked them if the earth was flat. Because no pilot's going to tell you that.
Yeah. The second thing I was going to say is him using the military as an appeal to authority fallacy. What he's trying to do is get something that you respect and then attach his beliefs to it in order to convince you that he has the authority on the matter. So that's just an appeal to authority fallacy. And then the last thing I was going to say is when it comes to comparative religion, most Christians just say that they don't actually do any comparative religion studies, and then when they do, it's only they only do it with the agenda of bolstering their own religion and condemning the other. They don't ever do it genuinely. And part of the reason how I became a Buddhist was because I don't believe in God, but I believe in things like the law of cause and effect and different things like that. You know, not everybody goes to a system of belief, but for some people it works.
Yeah, for sure. The bearded, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was going to say a lot of Christians have this similar order to reading the Bible, and it's the first like 3 or 4 chapters of Genesis, jump to Exodus and read until the 10 Commandments are given, then you jump to the Gospels and read from the Gospels forward. Everything else just gets left. Unless you decide to go into apologetics, where then you go back and read certain things like just Isaiah 53, just Psalm 22, just these different areas that you can pick from to use in your apologetics. But most of them have never read most of the books of the Bible.
I think that for me as a Christian, the way mostly I read the Bible was if we were doing a Bible study, then of course I read whatever we were on in a Bible study. And for women's groups, those would always be the same women's stories over and over again. We would learn about Ruth, Esther, Sarah, you know, just a lot of times it was just repeats of those same women. Like we didn't really learn about Mary much because they didn't want us to worship Mary the way Catholics did. So we weren't going to talk about her very much. Mary Magdalene, we didn't talk about very much because they lied and told everybody that she was a prostitute. And I hear atheists to this day sit up here in these lives going, she was a prostitute. No, she wasn't. Atheist, what the fuck? that. That was a post hoc thing that they even later, early in the century, came out and said, we lied about that. We wanted to make women look bad. The Catholic Church has admitted that's not in the text. It never was. She's not a prostitute. She actually paid for everything. She was really fucking rich. So anyway, so women don't get the Bible the same way men do. So we would get it for things like that. And then maybe you would do, somebody was saying, did you go through a year through the Bible? I never did. I mean, like, I feel like we probably had that, but I don't really feel I ever did that. Like, I don't have a memory of that, right? I remember doing verses of the day. I remember playing Bible roulette. I remember, just searching out things and stuff, but I just have to be honest now and say, I don't think I ever read all the way through the Bible. That's why we do it here whenever I am supposed to, but I kind of don't do it regularly like I should. On Thursdays, we read through the Bible right here. It's just taking forever because the Bible, most of it bores the fucking shit out of me. It's so boring. It's just men.
There's a lot of
It's just men talking about men.
Yeah, lots of begats. Lots and lots of begats.
To be fair, it's boring for men too.
Speaking of the, Christians not understanding other religions, the amount of times that I've argued with people that Scientology does not worship science is aggravating.
Scientology is based on science fiction. Science fiction, okay? It was made by a science fiction author. So if you don't know that, you should find that out.
Yeah, funny enough, though, because we're on here and we're probably going to say some remarks about Scientology, they happen to keep a record of anyone that ever says anything about it. They're really weird about that. So don't be surprised that we all get put on a list.
I'm sure I'm already on a list. I don't care. I don't care. Fuck Scientology.
That is one list I would be proud to be on.
Me.
Also, how are you gonna start a whole new cult when your cult leader was a science fiction writer, and you don't think that that's weird? Come on, that is so fishy.
No, it was super weird. But they also don't know the difference between Scientologists and Christian Science, which is another just
right.
like
That's what I was.
That's the worst one too.
See,
they're the ones who say you can't have no medical care, no nothing.
Probably, I have her book right here. It's called Science and Help by Mary Baker Eddy, and it's her Christian Science book. She was a weirdo.
Yeah,
she was a weirdo. Okay, you guys, which of these is most likely to become a fossil? A buffalo shot by a cowboy on the Great Plains, a salmon that dies after laying eggs in its home stream, or a clam buried by a mudslide?
Clam.
They're going with the clam.
It is clam. It is clam.
Look at my biochemistry coming through.
It depends on how quickly the
I know
trout
that
got
Scientology runs are hilarious. Have you guys seen the people running through the Have you guys seen the people running through the Scientology buildings on TikTok right now?
Yes. Oh my God.
No.
It's so funny. It's just a bunch of young kids. Well, Scientology doesn't want you to film inside there, so they turn on their phones and they film it, and they just bust into Scientology buildings and they just run through it, and everybody chases them, and they get so mad at them in their little suits. You get back here! And the kids are cracking up the whole time, just doing it to piss them off. They're not stealing. They're not vandalizing. They just bust into film inside, and it pisses the Scientologists off. And it's just funny.
That's hilarious.
It's just good, wholesome
That's
fun.
funny.
That is really goofy. Gotta love the youth.
It is. Okay, you guys, geologic systems. Please remember, you have to correct anything this guy says is wrong because I won't know. Okay, ecological zone is an environment where certain kinds of living things exist, such as grassland, desert, or pond. I don't know. I think that might be right.
Super simplified, but yeah. Super simplified, but kind of. Yeah.
Okay. In a similar way, fossils are also found with each other in groups called, oh, I already said that. We already talked about the 12 major. Okay, we're on this page. Some living things like clams and snails are found as fossils in all systems. Dinosaurs are usually found in only 3 systems. These systems are lumped together as the Mesozoic or reptile group. Trilobites are usually found in 7 systems. These are often lumped together as Paleozoic. So this is where he's mixing up systems with something else, right? This is when he went in and out of ecological zones and systems, and where he mixed up Pennsylvania with Mississippi. You know what I mean? So I don't even know if what he's saying is right.
It's not. And then him adding the specificity of these extra systems that he included, but there was a list of them that you read off earlier, and several of them didn't make the cut for the list that he made. But the 2 subcategories that he had, I mean, they're subcategories for a reason. Light blue and dark blue are still shades of blue. We're still talking about one category, and he decided to add 2 subcategories to it for no reason.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so he says to identify a system, you either have to consider the number of different kinds of fossils or find an index fossil. An index fossil is an index or marker for a certain system and is often found in that system and hardly ever in any other. Certain kinds of trilobites, for example, are index fossils for Cambrian rocks. Finding a Cactocrineus means that you are hunting in Mississippian rocks. I don't even know if any of this is true.
That's a bunch of gobbledygook made up BS. And him emphasizing this category is goofy. Like, why do that?
Examples of index fossils are shown in figure 1.12. Living index plants and animals are useful today too. When you find a red-backed salamander, for example, you know you have moved from the oak hickory to the beech maple life zone. You do not have to take time to compare percentages of oaks and maple trees. What?
I think he's talking about
you know where
analyzing
you are?
the environment. I think he's talking about trying to analyze the environment to determine what the fossil would have been like at that time. Why would you not want to do that? You would want to analyze the environment because whatever fossil you found, the environment has likely changed. It's not likely that one environment will stay the same for centuries.
Basically, animals and plants from an ecosystem exist within that ecosystem. And so if you find one of those animals or plants, it tells you that that was the ecosystem it lived in.
So if you found, if there was a sandy desert and you found a bunch of fish bones underneath the sand, you could infer that this used to be a body of water, for example. He's kind of saying, throw that shit in the trash. You can't make any inferences. And I'm like, why would you say that?
For the same reason Ken Hovind says you can't date rocks with fossils, because he doesn't understand it.
Okay, so he says sometimes fossils are from different geological systems and or different ecological zones are mixed together. Okay, that's cool, but that doesn't mean anything special happened. And I think that's what he's going to start alluding to, you know what I mean? Because he keeps wanting to go down there. He says fossils are only used in certain systems. Yeah, because species lived and died at different times. That's called chronology, and it's not a coincidence. So trilobites versus dinosaurs claims. Exactly. You don't find trilobites with dinosaurs because they lived hundreds of millions of years apart. That's a point, not a problem. So yeah, he's trying to make the trilobite seem something. He goes, often but not always, geological systems are found in a certain vertical order. Sometimes trilobite coals and dinosaurs are found in 3 different rock layers in the same area. He's saying they are found in the same area, but The trilobites will usually be on the bottom, the coal in the middle, and dinosaurs on top. That's because then they weren't in the same area. What are you talking about?
You already said what I was going to say. That clear.
Two-dimensional.
Sorry.
He's thinking about two-dimensional. He's saying basically like in this 5 foot by 5 foot square from the surface, you'll find that, but he's not thinking that it's three-dimensional. If you go down 6 feet, you're going to be in one layer. If you go down another 6 feet, you're going to be millions of years earlier. Like, but he's just saying it's still within the same 5 foot square, so it's all in the same place. That's bullshit.
Okay, and even if there was like merit to it, and I was playing devil's advocate, and I was saying, okay, well, if you go down a couple inches, that's one time period. If you go down a couple inches more, that's another time period. Even if I did, even if I was following what he was saying, that still wouldn't, like you said, if you were to dig 6 feet further, you'd be in a totally different age. So his point is moot. Like, yeah, that might be true for the first couple layers, but that isn't going to be true the deeper down you get.
Yeah, true.
Real quick.
Okay, it says you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Real quick. So also, let's keep in mind that the crust is only about like 3 to 20 miles long. Anything below that is the upper mantle, and therefore, like, things are going to shift in the first place. So, like, of course there are layers and everything, but not only that, the mantle is kind of like plastic. It's elastic more than the crust. So we got to think about, like, the shift as well.
Oh, yeah, true. Hey, Joshua, welcome to the show. Can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
My age, 19.
Okay, and what year were you born?
What year was I born? 2007.
Okay, and are you a Christian or a believer of the God of the Bible?
I am, yes.
Okay, well, today we're talking about how God's just not that into you. And the reason we're talking about this was a few years back, actually, probably like at least a decade now, a man wrote a book called He's Just Not That Into You. And it was a book to show people that men tell you when they're not into you by the way they treat you. They won't answer your calls. They'll talk mean to you. They might abuse you. And they're telling you they're not into you. And I feel like God does that too. He, especially for women, he like really treats women shitty. So I just don't think he's that into us. What do you think?
Okay. So how does God treat women shitty?
Oh, from Genesis to Revelation, he actually just shows us he hates us. He blames everything on us, even though he created evil, put the tree there, put a snake in the garden to tempt the woman, and both men and women both ate of it and instead blamed everything on women. He then allows men to sell their daughters into sex slavery, and he lets women be owned by their fathers and then by their husbands. He tells women that if they make a vow, and the father or husband doesn't like it, even if it's to him, the husband or father can take it away, so women's words aren't even owned by them. Those are all signs that we are not valued.
All right, those are all great points, but that's all Old Testament. Remember, Jesus came and brought New Testament.
Yeah, Jesus did not come to get rid of the Old Testament. Jesus said, I am the God of the Old Testament. He said, yeah, he did. So those are the things he thought too.
Yeah.
So you don't get to just go, Jesus wipes it all away. Jesus doesn't wipe anything away. Jesus hates women too.
So
You can talk about Jesus if you want to. I can talk about Jesus.
Hold on, just let me respond.
Everybody, you guys, one at a time. Let Josh respond, and then we'll go bottom up if you guys want to say something to him, okay? Because Nick started to say something too, and then Beard did, and Vice wants to, and Robin wants to. So Josh, you go ahead first.
Thank you. So firstly, I just want to say that God did say that he is the God of the Old Testament, but then he said right after that, you know, I bring the new covenant and that there are new laws. And that was his whole purpose of coming, that you didn't need to follow all 316 mitzvot anymore.
What verse is Jesus say that I brought new laws and you don't have to follow the Old Testament? Can you give me that verse, please?
I can in a second. If you give me about a minute, I can give it to you.
Okay, while you look that up, Nick, did you have something you wanted to say?
Hold on. Before we get to other questions, I'd like to finish this one, if that's all right.
Okay, go ahead and find the verse. I just wanted to know if Nick had something he wanted to say. If he has a question, he can wait. If he had something he wanted to say, I'm going to let him say it while you look for the verse. Nick, did you have something you wanted to say, or did you have a question?
I was going to push back on how things changed in the New Testament, but I'll let him try and find his verse first.
Okay, well, let him find that verse first. Liz, did you have something you wanted to say, or did you have a question?
Nope. I have full confidence in everybody else up here.
All right, Beard, did you have something you wanted to say, or did you have a question?
All right, so I've got the verse.
What's your question? Go ahead, Joshua.
I've got to the verse.
Okay, what's the verse?
So the verse is Luke 22, 20.
Luke, Jesus is saying this in Luke?
Yes, it's at the last one. I can read it to you.
Chapter 20? Chapter 20?
Yeah.
And what verse?
No, 22, chapter 20. So he says, this cup is the new covenant.
I'm sorry, chapter 20, verse 22, or chapter 22, verse 20? What are you saying?
Chapter 22, verse 20.
Okay, thank you. All right. Go ahead.
So, he says here that this cup is the new covenant in my blood, which is shed for you.
It doesn't say anything about new laws. Do you know what the new covenant is?
Do you know what a covenant is?
Yes, I do. Do you know what the new covenant is?
Yeah, what is you tell me?
I will tell you, the new covenant is that the law will be written on your heart. It is not that you don't have to follow it anymore. It means that you will know it, that you won't have to look back because you will know it. It is written on your heart. That is the new covenant. Jesus never tells you to get rid of the law. Covenant. He says, I came to fulfill the law, not to abolish it. Yes, it is. I'll read that to you, Pumpkin.
So when he says,
Vice, did you have something you wanted to say?
Wait.
I'm sorry, it's Vice's turn. It's Vice's turn, Josh. I'm looking something up for you.
Also, we were talking about how the New Testament it catered, it was fine with women, but what about Matthew 15, 21 through 28, where Jesus
Wait, let me find it quickly. Yeah. What is the verse again?
That's Matthew chapter 15, verses 21 through 28.
Okay. Matthew 15, verses 20. Okay, I'll read it to you, and you can explain it.
Okay.
So it says, then Jesus went out from the departed of the region, and Tyre and Sidon. Behold, a woman of Canaan came from a region and cried out to him, saying,
I don't want to change the subject yet. I don't want to change to that story yet. I don't want to go there yet. We're going to talk about how he talks to her or something. Is that what we were going to do, Vice? I want to ask Vice what was. Okay, wait. I want to go back to what he said, that the new covenant is not written on your hearts, because that's just not true. It's in Jeremiah 31:33. I will put my law within them, and I will write it on their hearts, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people.
Okay, Jeremiah is Old Testament.
Chris.
Right, dummy. That's when he establishes the new covenant. Then in Hebrews 8, it is reiterated. I will put my laws in their minds and write them on their hearts, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. That is New Testament. Hebrews 8:10. No, I'm tired of you interrupting. It's so fucking rude. I hate it. The whole time I'm reading the Bible, you keep interrupting me. No, you don't get to interrupt the Bible. Like, literally, it is your holy scripture. At that point, you should shut up.
Yeah. Okay, but may I talk now?
I'm going to read them again. Not until I read them without you interrupting while I'm reading them. It's so
Okay,
fucking
go on then.
rude. Even if I'm an atheist, this is your holy scripture. Do you know that your Bible says it will not go out void? So if you would just let people hear it, supposedly God does a magical spell on them and he'll do something really cool. But you won't let him do it because you won't let them hear it.
Why are you so
Now
angry?
be quiet. Because you're interrupting and I hate it. I hate it so much. Like, it drives me crazy. Okay, now listen. Jeremiah 31:33. I will put my law within them, and I will write it on their hearts, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. And then it is repeated in Hebrews 8:10. I will put my laws in their minds and write them on their hearts, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. And in 2 Corinthians 3:3, written not with ink, but with the Spirit of the living God, not on tablets of stone, but on tablets of human hearts. That is the new covenant. He said, I'm not done talking. Do you hear my voice still going? I did not come to abolish the law, but to fulfill it. Not one jot or tittle will disappear. And anyone who teaches you that to not follow the law is going to be the least in the kingdom. So now you show me where Jesus abolished the law, because you haven't shown me that yet. You've shown me nothing.
All right, I will. Okay, so listen. In Matthew 5, okay, firstly, I want to respond to those verses that you were saying. So those verses are talking about the Holy Spirit. It never once spoke about this is the covenant. If you read them again, you'll see it never says the word covenant. Anyways, but I want to say in Matthew 5, right, Jesus goes on about saying, you have heard, do not murder. But I say, don't even hate. He says, you have heard, do not commit adultery.
He changed 5 laws, and he sinned by doing that. He changed 5, exactly 5.
Listen.
And he sinned by doing that. Jeremiah 31 says, the days are surely coming. The days are surely coming, says the Lord, when I will make a new covenant. No, I want you to hear, because you said I didn't say the word covenant. So I want you to understand what Jeremiah was talking about in Jeremiah 31:33 that I read earlier. This is what he was talking about. Here's the context, okay? In Jeremiah 31:31, he says, the days are surely coming. So let's go to Jeremiah. I'm going to pull up my Bible instead of the internet so I can read the whole thing to you so you understand this is the new covenant. That's what he's talking about. At that time, says the Lord, I will be the God of all the families of Israel, and they shall be my people. Thus says the Lord, the people who survived the sword found grace in the wilderness. When Israel sought for rest, the Lord appeared to him from far away. I have loved you with an everlasting love. Therefore, I have continued my faithfulness to you. Again, I will build you, and you shall be built, O virgin Israel. Again, you shall take your tambourines and go forth in the dance of the merrymakers. Again, you shall plant vineyards on the mountains of Samaria. The planter shall plant and shall enjoy the fruit. For there shall be a day when sentinels will call in the hill country of Ephraim, come, let us go to Zion, to the Lord our God. For thus says the Lord, sing aloud the gladness for Jacob, and raise shouts for the chief of the nations. Proclaim, give praise, and say, save, O Lord, your people, the remnant of Israel. See, I'm going to bring them from the land of the north and gather them from the farthest parts of the earth, among them the blind and the lame, those with child and those in labor together. A great company they shall return here. With weeping they shall come, and with consolations I will lead them back. I will let them walk by brooks of water in a straight path in which they shall not stumble. For I have become a father to Israel, and Ephraim is my firstborn. Hear the word of the Lord, O nations, and declare it in the coastlands far away. Say, he who scattered Israel will gather him and will keep him as a shepherd of flock. For the Lord has ransomed Jacob and has redeemed him from hands too strong for him. They shall come and sing aloud on the height of Zion, and they shall be radiant over the goodness of the Lord, over the grain, the wine, and the oil, and over the young of the flock and of the herd. Their life shall become like a watered garden, and they shall never languish again. Then shall the young women rejoice in the dance, and the young men and the old shall be merry. I will turn their mourning into joy. I will comfort them and give them gladness for sorrow. I will give them priests their fill of fat. I will give the priests their fill of fatness, and my people shall be satisfied with bounty. Thus says the Lord, a voice is heard in Ramah, lamentation and bitter weeping. Rachel is weeping for her children. She refuses to be comforted for her children because they are no more. Thus says the Lord, keep your voice from weeping and your eyes from tears, for there is a reward for your work. They shall come back from the land of the enemy. There is hope for the future. Your children shall come back to their own country. Indeed, I heard Ephraim pleading, you disciplined me, and I took the discipline. I was like a calf untrained. Bring me back, let me come back, for you are the God, Lord my God. For after I had turned away, I repented, and after I was discovered, I struck my thigh. I was ashamed and I was dismayed, because I bore the disgrace of my youth. Is Ephraim my dear son? Is he the child I delight in? As often as I speak against him, I still remember him. Therefore I am deeply moved for him. I will surely have mercy on him. Set up road markers for yourself. Make yourself signposts. If you can't stop sighing and making childish noises, mute your fucking self, you little boy.
Can I just
mute? Stay muted.
Can I ask you a question?
We're reading the fucking Holy Bible. Shut the fuck up and stay muted.
Hey, Crystal.
Now I have to.
Hey, everybody. I was just gonna say, I'm so sorry, everybody. I was just gonna say, hey, everybody, I'm so sorry. I actually have to jump down. I may come back up. Right now, I'm in a tornado warning, so I gotta go into the basement.
Okay, go stay safe. Robin, check in with me later. Let me know you're okay.
Okay,
I'm gonna finish.
Bye.
Real quick, I have to jump off too. I got to get back to work. I did want to share one little thing.
Okay, have a great day.
A covenant is a contract. The new covenant was an expansion of that contract through just the people of Israel to the people of Israel and Judah. Anytime signatures are added to a contract, you must sign a new contract. That's why it's the new covenant. It's just an expansion of the old law. Yahweh specifically said he's going, it is absolutely true. Yahweh specifically said he was going to write his law, which is all of the law, on the hearts of everyone when the new covenant came in. That's what Crystal just read. So the new covenant is the same law, just expanded to more people. Same law.
I don't want to keep going. I want to read it to him. Thank you for telling us, but I'm going to keep reading because he is such an arrogant little brat. So I'm going to keep reading.
Thanks,
Indeed, I heard Ephraim. Bye. Have a great day. And we'll get together for that. Don't forget, I'll Discord you later. I saw your message, so I'll Discord you about interview. Indeed, I heard Ephraim pleading, you disciplined me, and I took the discipline. I was like a calf untrained. Bring me back, let me come back, for you are the Lord my God. For after I had turned away, I repented. And after I was discovered, I struck my thigh. I was ashamed and I was dismayed, because I bore the disgrace of my youth. Is Ephraim my dear son? Is he the child I delight in? As often as I speak against him, I still remember him. Therefore, I am deeply moved for him. I will surely have mercy on him. Set up road markers for yourself. Make yourself signposts. Consider well the highway, the road by which you went. Return, O virgin Israel. Return to these your cities. How long will you waver, O faithless daughter? For the Lord has created a new thing on the earth. A woman encompasses a man. Thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel. Once more they shall use these words in the land of Judah and in its towns when I restore their fortunes. The Lord bless you, O abode of righteousness, O holy hill, and Judah and all its towns shall live there together, and the farmers and those who wander with their flocks. I will satisfy the weary, and all who are faint I will replenish. Thereupon I awoke and looked, and my sleep was pleasant to me. The days are surely coming, says the Lord, when I will sow the house of Israel and the house of Judah, and the seed of humans and the seed of animals. And just as I have watched over them to pluck up and break down, to overthrow, destroy, and bring evil, so I will watch over them to build and to plant, says the Lord. In those days they shall no longer say, the parents have eaten sour grapes, and the children's teeth are set on edge. But all shall die for their own sins. The teeth of everyone who eats sour grapes shall be set on edge. The days are surely coming, says the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. It will not be like the covenant that I made with their ancestors when I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt. A covenant that they broke, though I was their husband, says the Lord. But this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, says the Lord. I will put my law within them. What's the fucking new covenant?
All right.
I will
Can I
put my
respond?
law within them. What's the new
All right.
covenant?
So,
No, answer that
respond
fucking
now?
question. To that question, what's the new
The
covenant?
new covenant
I will
is the
put
Holy
my
Spirit.
law within them.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so
No,
it's written on the
I
heart.
will
That's
write
great.
it on
Okay.
their hearts and I will be their God. And since you are so dishonest, disreputable, just disgusting, you can leave. I'm not going to allow you to say anything because you lied the entire time you were up here. You were interrupting, you were sighing, you were... Oh, I can't take the little man tantrums today. Hi, Grandma Zana.
19-year-old third-grade theologians who think they can speak for God is absolutely wild. I mean, Jesus himself said, I have not come to abolish the prophets. And this little kid comes up here trying to abolish the prophets. Like, what?
And
Crystal,
to tell me
sorry.
that Jeremiah is not about a covenant, you know?
Yeah,
I'm good. How are you, Grandma?
Sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt, but I only have 3 minutes right now. So
Okay.
I'm doing okay. I'm kind of like you, masking a bit today, but you know, masking can help. So as long as you don't do it all the
I'm
time.
hoping.
Yeah. Well, when you're with other people, because hopefully they will, you know, encourage you and stuff. But you never know. But what I want to say is that
Yeah.
the book you're reading is very similar to the PACE curriculum I grew up with. And one of the scary things I realized is that they never had us write. And I never understood why until now. And it's because when you write is when you do your deepest thinking. So we even had one of our gym teacher was like, you guys need to write. So she had us write a 1-page paper on college lined paper. Sorry about that. 1 page. And she got in trouble for it. She didn't even grade it. So we got a pass or fail. We wrote it or we didn't. She didn't even grade it. She put suggestions on it, you know, for writing. And but now I'm realizing it's because we would like, well, I want to find out more information about this now that I've written about it. I want to discover things. I want to put my own thoughts into things. That's what happens when you write.
Yeah, that's true. That's why there's only a few questions at the end of each chapter thing. And they're very short. They're like, what's a fossil? And then you could go look in the book and go and write down a fossil.
And that's
is
exactly
blah,
what the
blah,
PACE
blah.
books look like. The most you'd ever write was 1 paragraph at a time. The most. And it was just like, and you never summarized even. I didn't know how to summarize when I got to high school because I had been in those schools. So I didn't even know how to summarize a paragraph. So it was just
crazy.
You just needed to take in this information and that is all. So I just wanted to let you guys know how scary it really is. So I got to get back to work now.
All right, have a good day. You guys,
right, thank you.
big W for Grandma Zana. She is one of my biggest supporters, and I really appreciate you. And thank you again for the gift you gave me. I did put that towards the computer, so I'm really excited. Thank you so much. By the way, you guys, I have... Oh, go ahead.
No, it's your show, sweetie.
Oh, I was just going to say something, but you say whatever you were going to say real quick.
I was just going to tell Grandma, you know, as a joke, but also slightly not, like, I have to be a little bit jealous as somebody who was in, like, an advanced English program in all my schooling, that's all you had to write. So,
True.
Just gotta say.
Okay, you guys, I have something really cool, and I'll probably go on Justin's live sometime this week to talk about them more, and these will be in the Discord later today. But when I met with Justin, I brought him 5 vintage, very cool Bibles And then I asked him to sign them because I thought they would be fun to auction off so that I can earn money for my computer. So the auction's going to start cheap. It's going to be $10 or $20 per book. $10 pays for the priority shipping because I'll stick them in a priority flat rate mailer for you, and so you'll get a priority, and then $10 is the base starting for the actual Bible, and I don't think that's very expensive for starting the auction. Okay, and so this one, I don't know if you could tell, but I had him sign the covers. Okay, this is The Way, which is such a fucking cool Bible. If you haven't heard me talk about The Way was written in the 70s, and it has pictures in it because it was trying to be a cool Bible for like the hippies. Okay, and so there's all these like really cool, groovy like pictures of people playing guitar and like just hanging out, and I don't know, like this couple. I don't know if you can see them sitting in a flower bed or whatever. There's like people laying around some statue over. They were trying to relate. They were trying to be cool. So I'm gonna have this one. Then this is like a really old King James Bible. The pictures inside it are pretty cool. It is, to me, it's a little fragile. This is like, it's got some damage done, but it's kind of an old, cool, creepy Bible. That's kind of why I liked this one. I like to pick up old Bibles. So this is the self-pronouncing KJV, and I think we put this around the 30s. This is almost 100 years old. Not quite. Almost 100. Then we have this red hard-covered New King James Version. The New King James Version. And I feel like this is supposed to be like, look, it has some kind of thing, advertising still in it. This was my neighbor's. But it's supposed to be like larger print, but to me, that's not much larger. Hey, Brad, do you think that it's larger? I don't know. Okay, so it's called the Holy Bible, New King James Version, and this is, I know, it's like the registration card. This is the giant print edition, Words of Christ in Red, read along references. And I think this is copyright 1982, okay? So we have that one. This one was everybody's favorite. So I'm just gonna tell you that right now. It's a small King James version. It was, the original owner was an Urban C. Bupp Jr. And again, it is a KJV, but look, it zips up. Okay, so it's a cute, and it's got, the little illustrations in it. And I think we also put this around the 20s or 30s. Some of them, they're hard because they don't actually have the exact publishing dates on it. So this again is almost 100 years old. So, and that one, for some reason, was everybody's favorite at the thing. And then we have, by the way, I think The Way is a Catholic Bible, just so you know. This is the Catholic Living Bible. And this one is paraphrased, a thought-for-thought translation from 1976. So very cool. I didn't just bring boring Bibles, like I didn't bring Gideon Bibles, okay? I picked some cool Bibles out so you could have a cool Bible for your collection. Plus it would be signed by Justin, and I have like videos of him signing them and stuff. And I thought it would be a fun way for me to raise money for my computer. So those will be on my Discord, and I'll tell you guys how you can bid on them. And when bidding starts and when it ends, I'll let you guys know this week. I feel like I talk too much.
Someone's gonna have to fight me for that 100-year-old one. I'm just saying my tax return comes in on Wednesday, so like the pockets are gonna be a
right? So I have.
She showed that.
I have two that are pretty.
Yeah, Nick needs that.
It's really cool, huh? I always think of Nick when I go to these things because I also got this, Nick. I think this is really cool. It is also about 100 years old, and it is the Catholic's Manual. And it's a little leather edition.
Cool.
And these go for like up to $250 or something on eBay. It's leather, and it's the revised and corrected according to the new Code of Canon Law and I think this one was published also in the 30s. This one got published in the 30s. So
wow.
It's almost 100. It's really cool. Holy sacrifice of the Mass. The method to be observed in hearing Mass may vary according to each person's devotion. It is in it itself of less consequence than all the rest. I don't know why I started getting more dramatic. I also got this. This is one of my favorite books of all time. In case you ever have that as your trivia question, and you go, what is Crystal's favorite book of all time? I can't even say it. Rubaiyat, is that how you say it? By Omar Khayyam. I don't know how to say his name. I don't know how to say this book, but I've always loved it. It's like love poems and stuff. It's really beautiful. And as the cock crew, those who stood before the tavern shouted, open then the door. You know how little while we have to stay, and once departed may return no more. I don't know. I like it. Yes, the cock crew, too. It doesn't say crow. Like, crew is the past for crow. I didn't know that. I thought the past for crow was crows. As the cock crows is what I would say, but they wrote crew. That's weird. Benny, why don't you come up and hang out with us, dude? You guys, this is my 3DS. It has... It has helped me so much through this depression. It's not even funny. In case you guys don't know, 2 weeks ago, I got this little 3DS at a garage sale for $5. And this man came up and he tried to snipe it. He goes, I'll give you $10 right now. And I go, no. And I handed her the $5, took the game from her, and then I go, no, we're not doing that. No. I go, and I didn't even give her a chance to answer. I was just like, no, like, what are you talking about? I already made a deal with her. And I didn't know how valuable they were. I guess if you guys have your old they're so valuable right now. You have no idea. Really? Anyway, I hacked it. Yeah, they're super valuable. 3DSs are like crazy expensive right now. And if you hack it like I did, it's worth even more. And that's what I did. I went online, learned how to mod it. Not hack, mod. But I like to call it hack because it makes me sound like
you hacked really cool. It.
And then I've been playing Animal Crossing. It's because I'm like a kid.
That's super cool. I love the 3DS. There's so many great like games that won't be able to like, I don't think transfer over to like Switch or anything. Right. So it's like certainly like a time capsule of its own.
And this is so compact. Like I have a Switch and a Switch 2, but yeah, come on. For women, I can put this in my actual pocket.
I thought you were gonna say ass
for
a second there. Like? I'm sorry.
No. Listen, men shove things up their ass. Women stick it in their bra. Okay, that's what women do. Also, you guys see this necklace? This is a little crystal beaded necklace I just got. Isn't that pretty? I got it at an estate sale. I've been going to estate sales on the weekend, buying old books and obviously jewelry for myself.
I love that. Hey, I can't stay up too long. I am gonna be going live in like 5.
Okay.
On the future of
We'll come raid you when we're done.
Yeah, thank you. It's gonna be an open discussion, so everybody watching, no ops. I mean, ops are fun to come up, but it's more for like people in the like the community and stuff, and just like figuring out like what the heck are we gonna do, and like how do we bring this forward, like into the future. I wanna get some people's thoughts on that, because stuff's been going on, and I want to make sure that we are all on the same page.
Well, we will come raid you when we get done here. We'll be done in about 50 minutes. Unless I meet my gift goal, then we stay another hour, but I don't think we'll make that today, and that's okay. Gifts are appreciated. They're never expected. And all the gifts you give me right now are going towards my computer, but I am going to be doing a special fundraiser this week, and it is only, I'm going to do two for her, but the first one is $300. My daughter just finished her billing coding and what's it called? Billing coding and her medical billing and coding. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know why I can't say words. And she has to do her final exam, and they have to buy these special books. We've lent her the money for it, and she doesn't have a job yet because she just finished the class, but we don't have the money to let her just have the money right now. So I told her I'd do a little fundraiser for her. If you want to help her out, you could DM me. I'll tell you the best way to get her a little money to help her out. I don't put all my payment things in my link tree anymore. I think I have one that you could still access if you want to send money there. But too many of them have my full government name, and I just don't want everybody knowing everything about me. So I've switched to Throne thanks to Benny, because Benny turned me on to Throne. So I do have Throne in my link tree, and that's how we are crowdfunding the computer. So you could donate to the computer. You can send me money for my to help out my daughter. Like I said, it's only $300, but I really don't have the money right now to help her, and she really needs the book so she could do her final. So if you want to help out, let me know. What's up, Vice?
You can also create an entirely different Cash App if you want. Like an entirely different account with different user names and everything like that, so people don't link it back to you as easily.
Oh, really? Because the one I had my freaking government name on it, and I did not like that. Hey, Born Again, what's up? Yeah, I'm finally live again. I finally went live again. Casey, good to see you. If anybody wants to come up, the guest box is open. Friendlies are welcome. Anyway, I'll look into doing another Cash App, Vice. I didn't know that. I just saw that my full government name was on my Cash App, so I was like, I don't like that. I don't want that out there. Yeah, I'm trying to be a little more discreet.
I'm heading out. I'm gonna start the live up. But yeah, so if you guys, 50 minutes, that's cool. I should be live for a while until like 6 p.m. Central Time. So yeah, open panel. Anybody and everybody's welcome. It's gonna be TikTok only. It will be on YouTube. So like super chats and everything are fine to answer. It's just I'm not gonna be able to bridge, whatever the audio, whatever. So. All right, guys. It's so good to see you, Crystal, and so good to talk to you. I feel like it's been way too fucking long. So
I know. And tell Seth I miss him.
I will. I miss him. I miss him too sometimes. Just kidding. All right. Bye, guys.
All right.
Love y'all.
Have a good day. Bye, Benny. Good to see Casey and Born Again in the chat, y'all. Welcome in. Today we were talking about how God's just not that into you. We also were talking about these amazing science books that a Christian author, Richard B. Bliss, I guess there's a few of them, Gary E. Parker and Dwayne T. Gish wrote. Okay, and they're in a series about evolution and creation. And so we've been having fun kind of going through those. And then I started showing everybody the Bibles I'll be auctioning off. And then we started talking about estate sales and how I'm a hacker, basically, and how cool I am because I am. No. Anyway, I'm such a fucking weirdo. Yeah, if you don't see me online, I'm probably just playing. Or if I pop in to a live, and then you talk to me and I don't respond, it's not because I don't like you. It's because I'm playing my 3DS. That's the only reason, I swear. Hey, We Are DNA. How are you? Oh, no, what are you getting done at the dentist? Hopefully it's something like a cleaning, something very, low pain. Thoughts and prayers.
Crystal, can I ask a question that is like totally off topic of what we've been? So when that last guest was up here, you were reading the section talking about the new covenant and whatnot, and you started pretty early in it. And there was a line, I want to say it was towards the middle of it all, but it's hard to tell. And I swear I may have just misheard, but did you say the women will be something and then the men will be married or married?
Married. Like happy. Let me see it. Let me find it again for you. That was in Jeremiah 31, by the way. Let me see if I can find it. And then shall the young women rejoice in the dance, and the young men and the old shall be merry. I will turn their mourning into joy.
Gotcha. Okay. I couldn't quite tell when you were reading it, and I was like, wait, did that say married? Because then, like, that's kind of gross that, like, we're saying the men are going to be married, and who gives a shit about the women, which tracks.
Which it does track. Yeah. It does track for sure. You guys, today I will be putting up the episode that you guys have been waiting for on the podcast. Okay, it was gonna be just like a day late, and then I found out that I had fucked up the entire recording and had to re-record it, and then my depression said, oh, you hit a roadblock. Now we are doing nothing. And so I couldn't get it out for the life of me. But today I will finish editing it and get it out. It's about Lot's daughters, and I think it's a really good episode, and I think everybody should listen to it. And I really think that people should start sharing these podcast episodes that they relate to with women that they care about. Because I think women need to hear these stories told from a woman's point of view instead of from the preachers and men that they've heard tell these stories over and over again. And some of these stories they've never heard before. You cannot tell me that. I don't think there's anybody who can tell me who Naamah was. I really don't. I think it has to be a Bible scholar who will tell me who that is. I just don't believe that the everyday Christian woman knows who that is. And so these stories talk about women that you probably have never heard of in your life. But the one about Lot's daughters, we're going to talk about the fact that the story is told from Lot. And what we know about how men who tell the stories of sexual assault don't seem to get it right often. And so I don't believe Lot. And that's basically what this episode in the podcast is going to tell you, is that I don't believe Lot. I don't believe that story. And I don't believe anybody should. I just don't believe it. Hey, Rabbi Hannah, good to see you. So if you get a chance, I will post that today. I will announce it in the Discord to let you know that I have posted it, and then you guys go give that a listen. And then I'll get back on track, and on Wednesdays you will start getting new episodes, and I do owe you bonus episodes, and I know that. So what I'm going to be doing is I've been asked to make my episodes a little bit longer, especially the first ones. And on those first ones, I'm going to do some re-edits, and I'm going to put out some bonus episodes where those episodes will be retold with a little bit more information, a little bit longer, and a little bit more aligned with how I do the episodes now. When I first started, I didn't have a clear way of how I told the stories, but now I realized that I like to do it where I talk about the verse they came in on, then I talk about rabbinic teachings, Christian teachings, and then what I thought or what have you. And so I'm going to try to redo them back to so that they're in that order. I like that order better. Okay, I love you, Nick. Have a good day.
Hey, Crystal. Sorry to bother you, but just so you know, I have a hearing issue. It's for a condition that I can't remember what it's called right now, but it's similar to autism, how things go in my brain, and you talk a little too fast when you do your videos. So sometimes I have to rewind.
Wait, during my podcast?
Yes, during your podcast. You talk just a
That is
little
so
too
funny
fast.
because I have to tell you something. People tell me I talk too slow. And that is my biggest complaint is that they say that they even told me I sound like I'm trying to be Miss Rachel because like they feel like I'm going too slow to
Okay, so it's
like
just my
that I'm
hearing
trying
then.
to
That's all. It's
over-enunciate.
just my hearing issue. It has nothing to do with you then.
But
so.
I don't know because now I you never know. Like I just think that so I'll need to hear more input. So if you guys listen, please let me know. This is important to me. Vice, what did you have to say?
Were you able to put it at times 0.5 the speed because that might help?
Well, that's a good idea. I should do that. I forgot you can even do that. So I haven't ever done that on Spotify, so I'll have to figure it out.
Oh yeah, you go to the little settings, the little gear thing, and you can change the speed. Yolanda thinks that I go too slow. Okay, my husband said too. So I tried to pump up my my energy towards the last recent episodes because people were saying like I was just too slow. Like I was teaching. They felt like I was teaching children. They felt like I was going slow for children.
Sped up. Let's put it that way. I was like, oh my gosh, she got sped it up now, and now what do I do? So maybe it's just maybe it's not a speed thing. Maybe it's a what do you call it? You know how like when I talk, I'm always happy, no matter what. I always sound like I'm happy. So I can be really sad, and people think I'm happy because it's just my voice. So maybe it's something like that. It's just a tonal thing or something like that. But I don't know. All right. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye, Grana.
Real quick, that is part of masking. Just want to let you know that, like, that's actually, like, you are trying to convey, like, not convey, but subconsciously convey that you're, like, quote unquote, a normal person. So you actually speak like with more happiness than you actually are. And
see, and I think what happened was when I sped up is when I stopped masking, to be honest with you. Like what happened was at the beginning, I was trying to sound like a podcaster instead of just read it like myself. And so after my husband told me that I was doing that, I changed. And I even make an announcement during the episodes. Like, I don't remember, it's like episode 3 or something. And I said, you might notice a change. And that's because I'm going to try to relax and just like be myself. And that's when I started to speed up a little bit in my voice. But people still tell me that they speed it up when they're listening to me because I'm slow.
That's part of the ADHD as well. Like when people look at something, a lot of people have ADHD. So like if you speak faster, you can keep up with their speed a little bit more. But when you talk a little slower, it's a delicate balance.
Yeah, it really is. People don't know like how hard it is to produce a fucking podcast. Like I'm telling you. And I think for not having any experience before, I do pretty well. Like I think that that it's clear. Like, and especially, I have a problem with my voice. I have tonal ranges that are low and raspy that a lot of computers and AI and stuff cannot pick up on what I'm saying. So, for instance, you know how you like tell your car, take me to the nearest Taco Bell or whatever. It can't understand me. Never. Never can understand what I'm saying. So I can't do voice directions because there's little inflections in my voice it can't even hear. It has to do with something in my tonal range. So I have to work on that.
I think it's called bitonal, where your voice is like actually an octave difference, like while you're speaking.
And
yeah,
it's very hard because there's nothing I could do about it. I don't like mean to trail off on something or whatever, or have that little thing in my raspiness, you know. Oh, thank you. I hope so. Well, it's really funny. Lots of people love my voice. Other people fucking hate my voice. And other people, you know, they don't care one way or the other. But for me, it's just, I didn't realize how much an issue voices were until I started doing this podcast. And I was like, oh my God. So first I thought it was my mic. I thought it was, you know, went all through all these sound things and stuff. But now I realize it's just people's preferences, and there's not much I could do about it. This is my voice, and I'm always going to be the one who does my own sermons. So, unfortunately, I will have little, you know, raspiness in there that trails off. I can't help it.
And the most important part is being yourself. Like, if you change for people, people can change like how fast you are talking nowadays. We need your personality. That's all we need. Your shining personality. That's all we want. That's where I'm at personally. I can't speak for everybody.
Cool.
But yeah,
I know that the sermons aren't always shining, but hopefully you get a little of my vigor in there when you listen to them. You know what, Born Again, we had so much fun when we met up. It was kind of a crazy weekend. Some little shitty things happened throughout the weekend to me, but the meetup itself was really fun, and the gratitude people had to, you know, for me setting it up and stuff was something I didn't expect. I was like, that is just really sweet. I just wanted to have lunch and meet some friends. And the fact that people drove hours to come out and meet and stuff was crazy to me. It was really cool. It was very cool. And I'm hoping to be at Rocket City Reason. So far, it looks like we will be there in October. And
Wait,
so
are
hopefully,
you serious?
What the fuck? I'm supposed to be there.
Oh my God. Okay, well, I wasn't sure if we were going, but now we're totally going.
What's going on?
Yeah, Doug, Rocket City Reason is a convention happening in, where the fuck's it happening? In Alabama?
Yeah, it's in Huntsville.
Huntsville, Alabama. Oh my God. Yeah, and a lot of people are going. I know, like, Robot Goat is going, obviously. Godless Engineer and Casey will be there. Justin will be there.
Well, Godless runs it.
Yeah, Godless runs it. Volsey will be there. God, I can't wait to meet Volsey. Mama Bash is going to be there. Mama Bash is going to be there. And Bash is going to be there. Yeah, so it's supposed to be like a lot of people are going to be there. And so it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. And Doug really enjoyed meeting everybody. And he was like, you need to do more of these. I don't think that he really knew that what we did helped people, like helped them. Like he would hear me say that, but I don't think until he met people who came up to him and said, you have no idea how much this has helped me and changed my life. And, this community is amazing. Your wife is amazing. You know, I don't think he really, and then he listened to them talk, and he listened to them talk about the Bible and their upbringing and church and, you know, and stuff like that. And he realized, like, it's just because he never was into it like I was. So it didn't affect him the same way it affected me. And while he knew it affected me, I don't think he realized how much me sharing that has helped other people, you know?
Jason, what are you doing in here? You should be
Jason. So I think that I think that made Doug realize, like, we should go to more of these because, like, you do help people and stuff. I also posted in the Discord, somebody sent a message while I was somewhere this week, in a chat room, and they were like, hey, you helped me deconstruct like a year ago. And I'm like, it's fucking awesome. I love hearing that. So I think that if we don't have anybody coming up, I might go ahead and end it a little early today because this was my first day back. And so Liz knows I was like having, if you stream, you will get this, okay? If you stream and you take time off from streaming, that first time going live again, I do not know what happens to your brain. Well, at least for me, and I've heard this from other creators, so I have to believe it's just a very normal thing. There's some fucking roadblock that fucking happens that makes you go like, oh my God, I don't know. Like I felt overwhelming. I had so much anxiety about going live again for the first time. And I'm really glad I did. I had a lot of fun. I think that we've learned a lot about fossils today. I think we have.
A lot of misinformation.
And I think that, yes, a lot. Whoops, I'm spinning myself. And then the next time we'll learn about the origins of life. And then also this week, I'm going to try to get him to do it tonight for you guys. I've been promising you guys something, and I am going to do, but I want to try to be sneaky. I have books from the engineers who worked on Apollo, like their notes that they would leave for each other at night, but I don't know if I'm supposed to have them. So I don't know, like, if I should bring them out or not. I want to bring them out to show you guys, but I'm also like, is there a way I could bring them out where I don't let them know? Like, I'm trying to figure out if there's a way I could be coy about it. So, because I don't know. Like, there's nothing secret. There's no, I just so you guys know, there's no top secret shit in these. But you know how, like, certain government agencies are like, we'll decide if it's, I don't know if I'm supposed to have them or not. And we don't really want to ask, because if we ask them, what if they go, no, you're not? And then they take them. I don't want them to take them. They were my father-in-law's when he worked on the Apollo project. I know, right? That's why I want to hold on to them. But we also, you know what we did? When we lived in Kansas, we almost took these books to the Kansas Cosmological Center thing. There's one out in, like, I forget, some podunk town in Kansas. If you look it up, you'll find, I think it's Hayesville, but I'm not positive. Anyway, we were going to take them to them, but right about the time we had decided to donate them to them, we found out that the director there was stealing artifacts and then, like, selling them and stuff. So, like, your shit could just go missing and be sold on the black market by this guy. So we didn't end up giving it to them. I know, that's what I'm afraid, Grace. I'm afraid they'll go, we need those. But they're cool, and I want to share them with you because it is one of the number one reasons why I cannot stand flat earth conversations and the denial of NASA and space exploration. Because my father-in-law worked on it, my father worked on it, and my husband worked on it. And when you do that, when you sit there and deny that shit, you are literally denying the life's work of these men and women who worked on this shit and people. And I can't stand that. That fucking drives me crazy. Okay, you send me the idea in text. Okay, Vice, what do you have?
So, you have a book about fossils. I know a lot about fossils. I do science lives. Do you want to collab?
I know. Yeah, we should do that. I would love that. I think that we should also go through this one. And here's what I really want to do is I don't know when these books are lying to me. So I want to read them, and then you could tell me, like, okay, let's stop, and here is where the lie is in that paragraph, or whatever, you know what I mean? Because it is lying. I just can't tell because the way they use science terms to lie to you.
I am obsessed.
You know what I mean?
I will literally read the whole thing and note every single thing on there. I am so ready.
Okay, cool. Very cool. What I might do. That was weird.
Sorry.
I don't know what happened.
Every once in a while lately, my phone thinks that I'm talking to Google, and it just interrupts and says, "Oh, that's a great idea." And I'm like, dude, I didn't even say your name. Why are you responding to me right now? What are you talking about?
It's getting out of hand.
Okay, good. I thought it was like my message or something that fucked it up. I don't feel bad anymore.
Nope, it wasn't. I was actually going to check for your message over on a different device, and it did that to me, and that was like, what? Oh, that's a good idea. I could do that, Liz. I could totally do that. And I will only do the cool stuff in them, and I'll take some pictures of them. Okay, I think I will do that. I still have restrictions, and they were supposed to last 10 minutes. They lasted the entire time. So I'm just going to go ahead and end it here. You guys, I love you all. I will be back tomorrow. I'm going to try to go live at 10, but the reality is that mornings are my favorite time to just do whatever I fucking want to do and not have to do anything. And so it'll depend on my mental state in the morning on whether I am able to do it by 10 or it'll be 11. But I'm going to try by 10, okay? And I will be doing some stuff in my Discord, sending you guys some pictures. What I'm going to do with Vice is we're going to get together for a special night where we can go through these, or a special day, whatever works best for both of us. And I'm going to send you like screenshots, Vice, so you can read over them ahead of time.
Perfect. I can't wait.
And then it says that we're discussing conspiracy theories about NASA and government secrets. I never said NASA or government secrets.
Until now. Until just now.
If you want us to start doing that, we can totally start it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, you guys, I'm going to go eat lunch. We're going to raid Benny. Everybody, if you want, head over to Benny. He's going to be talking about the deconstruction community as a whole. If not, wherever you go raid and say CrystalJae Raid. I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll see you around the mean streets of YouTube and TikTok. Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day.